The vast blackness of space stretched endlessly beyond the bridge of the Galactic Empire's flagship, Dominion's Pride, and Admiral Verox's eyes were glued to the holographic display. A faint distress signal blinked in red from Battle Group Red 17, the Empire's Pride, known to be nearly invincible. Verox frowned as the signal crackled with static, the voice of a commander screaming in terror, barely audible, unknown, approaching faster than anything ever seen. The broken words repeated over and over. The Empire Command had never seen anything like this. Red 17 had been fully equipped with the latest weapons, hundreds of ships in perfect formation, yet now, it seemed, they were being destroyed in moments. The hologram flickered, and the bridge fell silent, except for the faint hum of engines. "Show me the last recording," Verox ordered, his voice cold but tinged with fear. The view screen filled with chaotic bursts of light, ships exploding one after another. A single, black ship appeared, sleek, angular, without any markings, moving faster than the Empire's fastest fighter. It didn't just attack, it obliterated, firing beams that cut through cruisers like a knife through fabric. Verox's hand clenched on the console as he watched Red 17 vanish in a matter of seconds. "This ship, it shouldn't exist," whispered Admiral Senar beside him. "I have nothing in the archives," Verox admitted, his mind racing. "It's not in any record, any design, any history." The unknown vessel moved with precision and purpose, not a hint of hesitation. Empire strategists had never encountered anything like it. Panic spread quietly across the bridge, the officers exchanging worried glances. Sensors could not identify the power source, the weapon type, or the origin of the ship. It was as if the ship appeared from nowhere, an unstoppable force moving with a single goal. Red 17's survivors were too few to communicate, and the signal stopped abruptly, leaving only static. Verox stared at the viewscreen, feeling the weight of the galaxy pressing on him. "Raise level 7 alert," he commanded. "We must find this ship before it strikes again." Analysts began frantic searches through ancient archives, supercomputers running simulations. Every attempt failed. The ship moved faster and hit harder than any known technology. Then, a single word appeared on the command console, almost glowing with strange energy. "Earth." Verox blinked, disbelief freezing him. Earth, that primitive world. His mind raced, remembering the old records. Earth had been considered insignificant, barely part of the galactic map. How could such power come from a planet they had long ignored? The bridge erupted into confusion, officers murmuring, "It's impossible. It can't be humans." Verox pressed a hand to his forehead, the taste of fear bitter in his mouth. Outside, the stars seemed to watch silently as the galaxy's rules shifted in an instant. Red 17 had been annihilated by a force that no one understood, and now the Empire had to face a terrifying truth. Somewhere, hidden in the dark, a fleet waited silent, unseen, and deadly. The first strike had been a warning, the last message clear, and the Admiral knew one thing as the viewscreen went black: the galaxy would never be the same again. The Empire was in chaos. Admiral Verox paced the bridge of Dominion's Pride, staring at the empty space where Red 17 had vanished. Every report that came in increased the fear. Another fleet had been attacked, another group destroyed. The unknown black ship moved again, but this time, it seemed to vanish into the darkness before anyone could respond. "Sensors detect nothing," an officer said, voice trembling. "No power signatures, no warp traces, nothing." Verox shook his head. "It is like it is everywhere and nowhere at the same time." The Empire Council convened immediately, holograms of destroyed fleets floating in the air. Strategists argued and shouted, but no one had an answer. Meanwhile, deep in the Empire's archives, secret records were being unearthed. Files long thought erased appeared on the screens, all mentioning something strange about Earth, humans, unknown technology, hidden fleet. One analyst read aloud, disbelief in her voice. Verox leaned in, realizing that the planet he had always considered primitive might be hiding something far beyond imagination. Outside, survivors of the second attack whispered of a silent destroyer. "They didn't speak, they didn't negotiate. They judged us and left us to die." One pilot gasped. The tales were chilling, the officers listening in horror. The Empire had never faced a force that struck without mercy, without warning, and without reason. Admiral Verox ordered reconnaissance probes toward the Sol system. The planet called Earth was small, nearly forgotten, but every scan came back with anomalies, massive energy readings hidden deep underground. cloaked ships moving with incredible speed. No one knew how such a small world could hide so much power. Meanwhile, the black ship struck again, this time attacking a slaver fleet in the outer rim. It moved with silent precision, destroying ships faster than the Empire's defenses could react. Reports from survivors were fragmented but terrifying. It is like they appear from the shadows. They punish only those who harm others. Verox's stomach tightened, realizing this was not random destruction. There was a plan, a purpose. The Empire Council grew desperate, sending elite teams to investigate ruins in the Sol system. Ships landed near old cities long abandoned, the ground scarred with battle long ago. They found warning beacons, etched in strange symbols, glowing faintly under the sun. The message was clear: do not enter the midnight returns. Verox studied the message, cold dread in his veins. No one knew who had placed these warnings, or how old they were. All records of the humans' history were incomplete, erased, or hidden, and now, it seemed, those humans were no longer the weak species the galaxy had once underestimated. Back in space, the unknown ship lingered near the border. Silent and patient, the Empire's fleets hesitated, unsure whether to attack or retreat. Every day the tension grew, fear spreading like wildfire through every star system. The galaxy watched as the Empire's strongest armadas failed to stop a single ship. Verox knew the truth was coming. The humans would not remain hidden forever, and when they revealed themselves, the Empire would face a power it could not ignore. The black ship had already shown its strength, and its message was clear. Earth was not to be touched. The Midnight Fleet was awake, and the galaxy's balance had begun to shift. The officers on the bridge could feel it, the air thick with fear and anticipation. Every star in the distance seemed to hold a secret, every signal a warning, and in the darkness beyond, the humans waited, watching, ready to strike again. The Empire had underestimated them for centuries, and the price of that mistake was about to be revealed. The Empire's scientists and analysts worked day and night, scouring every record, every memory of human history. What they discovered shocked them to their core. Humans, once considered weak and primitive, had survived near extinction centuries ago. A secret project had been initiated, one so powerful that the galaxy had never seen its like. Deep in hidden bases on Earth and scattered moons, humans had built the Midnight Fleet, a fleet unlike any other, with ships capable of speed, stealth, and firepower far beyond Empire technology. It had been designed for one purpose only: survival, and to ensure that humans would never kneel again. The Empire's intelligence files showed erased battles, lost planets, and fleets destroyed in secret, all attributed to unknown forces. Admiral Verox could hardly believe it. The humans he had always dismissed as weak, as a minor species, were in fact silent warriors. They had grown, evolved, and trained in secret, hidden in shadow, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. And now, that moment had arrived. Reports from the destroyed fleets painted a chilling picture. Survivors said the humans did not speak, did not negotiate, and did not show mercy. "They do not kill for conquest," one pilot stammered. "They kill for justice, for defense, for survival." Every encounter seemed deliberate, precise, and frighteningly efficient. The Empire's top strategists convened urgently. "If this is true," said one, trembling, "we face a power beyond anything in history, beyond our weapons, beyond our fleets." Verox clenched his fists, the weight of the revelation heavy on his shoulders. All their assumptions about the galaxy, about dominance, about humans, had been wrong. The Midnight Fleet was not just a group of ships. It was a warning. Its existence had been hidden for centuries, but now it moved silently across the stars. Its purpose was clear: to protect Earth, to punish those who threatened it, and to remind the galaxy that humans were not to be underestimated. Verox realized with fear that no Empire fleet, no matter how large, could hope to stop them. Meanwhile, hidden observers on Earth monitored the Empire's response. Humans in command centers gave silent orders, their eyes calm, precise, and unyielding. The ships waited in shadows, cloaked and undetectable. They would strike only when necessary, but when they did, the Empire would know their power fully. Back on the Bridge of Dominion's Pride, Verox tried to prepare his officers. He gave orders, but he knew they were futile. The Midnight Fleet moved with perfect coordination, intelligence beyond anything the Empire had ever seen, and most terrifying of all, it had purpose, a goal that was unshakable. For centuries, humans had waited quietly, underestimated and erased from galactic memory. Now, the galaxy faced the truth. Humans were not weak. They were evolved warriors. The Empire had destroyed fleets. Yet it was clear that nothing could stop the Midnight Fleet, and the first hints of fear spread across the galaxy. A realization that humans were no longer hiding. Varrox stared at the star charts, at the empty sectors where fleets had disappeared. The truth was clear, terrifying, and unavoidable. The humans had returned. The Midnight Fleet was awake, and the galaxy would never again see Earth as powerless. The Empire's armada gathered at the edge of the Sol system, hundreds of ships bristling with weapons. Admiral Varrox watched the formations on the holographic display, his hands trembling slightly. They had resolved to confront the humans, to stop the unknown threat before it reached more of their territory. Confidence and arrogance had driven them for centuries, but now, doubt and fear hung over every officer. The first warning came as the Midnight Fleet appeared silently, moving through the darkness. Not a word, not a signal, only ships emerging from the void like shadows given form. Their shapes were unfamiliar, sleek and deadly, weapons glowing faintly, faster than anything the Empire had. Varrox swallowed hard, knowing this was the moment of truth. The Empire fired first, beams of energy lancing toward the Midnight Fleet, but the humans moved like ghosts, weaving, dodging, and countering with precision. One cruiser fired a heavy plasma volley, but it was cut in half by a single shot from a human destroyer. Chaos erupted, explosions lighting the dark space like fireworks of death. In the midst of battle, a single human commander's voice echoed across intercepted channels. "We warned you, leave Earth alone," it said calmly. No emotion, no threat, just a statement of fact. Varrox felt his blood run cold. These were not ordinary humans. These were warriors shaped for vengeance and survival. The Empire fleets tried to regroup, forming lines, targeting human ships one by one. But every attack failed, every strategy collapsed. The Midnight Fleet was everywhere at once, hitting faster than the Empire could respond. Ships exploded in moments. Entire squadrons vanished under precise, lethal fire. Admiral Varrox barked orders desperately. Fall back, reinforce the flanks, focus fire on the lead ship. But the Midnight Fleet ignored them, striking only those who threatened Earth. Moving with a purpose the Empire could not understand. Even the Empire's strongest warships, their pride and strongest weapons, were destroyed without warning. The galaxy watched in fear, stunned by the humans' silent judgment. Amid the destruction, the humans showed no hatred, no desire for conquest. They were disciplined, efficient, fighting only to protect, to warn, and to stop further threats. Varrox realized with despair that brute force was meaningless. The Empire had faced fleets before, but none like this. None with absolute control and silent precision. Reports came in from across sectors. Fleets destroyed before they even knew what hit them. Survivors spoke of calm eyes, cold voices, and unstoppable ships. Varrox's advisors began to whisper among themselves, fear evident in every word. "This is no ordinary war," one said. "This is judgment, and we are not ready to face it." The Midnight Fleet moved as one, a coordinated force without error. Every ship a weapon, every strike a lesson, every movement silent but devastating. Varrox could only watch in horror as the Empire's pride was shredded before his eyes. The humans had shown that they were the true masters of the battle, not for conquest, but for survival and protection. As the last of the Empire's front line collapsed, Varrox knew they had no choice. Retreat was the only option, and even that was uncertain. The humans had won without mercy, without negotiation, and without a word. The galaxy had been shown a new power, one that would change everything. And somewhere in the shadows beyond the wall, the humans waited, silent, patient, victorious. Their message clear. Earth was not to be touched. The Midnight Fleet had struck, and the Empire had learned the hard truth. Humans were no longer weak. They were unstoppable. The remnants of the Empire's fleets limped away from the battle, battered, broken, and humiliated. Admiral Varrox stared at the viewscreen, silence heavy on the bridge. The humans had shown no mercy, yet no hatred either. Their power was absolute, their purpose clear, and their message unmistakable. Earth was no longer a hidden, weak planet. The Midnight Fleet had revealed itself, and the galaxy could not ignore it. From distant systems, observers sent reports of the humans' might. The galaxy watched in awe, fear, and disbelief. A human commander's voice finally echoed across the open channels. calm and commanding. "Earth is no one's colony," the voice said. "We stand alone, and we stand ready." The words spread across the galaxy, carried by every communication relay, every fleet, every station. The Empire's Council held an emergency session, fear evident in every member. They debated, they argued, but all knew the truth. They could not conquer Earth. Not now, not ever. The humans had waited centuries, prepared silently, evolved quietly, and now they had shown that the galaxy could not underestimate them again. Varrox lowered his head, the weight of defeat heavy on his shoulders. He knew that the Empire had lost more than ships and fleets. They had lost pride, certainty, and the illusion of control. Humans had risen silently, and the galaxy had no choice but to respect that rise. Meanwhile, on Earth, celebrations were quiet but resolute. Command centers hummed with activity, ships repaired and readied in silence. The humans had not sought glory, nor conquest, nor revenge. They had acted with purpose, to protect their home and remind the galaxy of their strength. The Midnight Fleet moved back into the shadows, cloaked and silent once again. But the message was clear. Humanity had returned, and they were no longer weak. Stories of the fleet's power would spread across star systems, inspiring fear and respect. No one would dare attack Earth without thinking twice. And yet, in the quiet of space, the humans watched, silent, patient, vigilant, their eyes on the stars, ready for the next threat. The galaxy had been warned. Humanity had awakened. Admiral Varrox, aboard his crippled flagship, they spoke to his officers, his voice low, almost in awe. "They are not just survivors," he said. "They are the new guardians, the judges of the galaxy." The officers nodded, understanding that a new era had begun, one where humans would no longer be underestimated, and where the galaxy would tremble at their name. In the distance, the stars seemed quieter, as if holding their breath. The Empire's pride had been shattered, fleets destroyed, and reputations ruined. But from the darkness, a new power had emerged, silent and unstoppable. The humans had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The final transmission from the Midnight Fleet left a shiver through every system, a simple message, repeated across every channel, every signal, every corner of space: "We are awake, and we will not kneel." And with that, the humans receded into the shadows once more, leaving the galaxy to wonder what would come next. The galaxy had barely recovered from the arrival of the Midnight Fleet. Systems whispered stories of humans and their unstoppable ships. Empire fleets were being rebuilt, but fear lingered like a shadow. No one dared underestimate Earth again, not even for a moment. Yet, far beyond the known sectors, in the uncharted darkness, something stirred. Unknown signals flickered across deep space sensors, faint but deliberate. The humans detected it first. On silent patrols of the edge worlds, a pattern, calculated and precise, as if a mind watched them from the void. Admiral Kale, commanding the Midnight Fleet, studied the data. "Something is coming," he said quietly to his officers. The sensors had picked up a massive ship, cloaked and ancient, moving slowly but with immense power. Its design was unlike anything humans had built or destroyed, a relic of a forgotten war. The fleet gathered silently around the edge of the Sol system. Ships hummed with energy, weapons ready but restrained. The humans knew they could strike first, but caution ruled their minds. This was different. No one knew who this enemy was, or what it wanted. Meanwhile, the Empire watched in panic, rebuilding fleets and defenses. They still hoped to reclaim their lost pride. Unaware of the new presence lurking in the shadows, reports from scouts were fragmentary but terrifying. Entire fleets vanished, not destroyed like before, but erased, as if reality itself bent against them. Admiral Kale addressed his commanders calm but serious. "We were ready for the Empire, but this is not them." The fleet moved toward the signals, faster than light, cloaked, silent, every ship on high alert, every crew member knowing this might be a battle unlike any before. In the void, the shadow ship appeared, immense and dark. Energy pulsed along its hull, waves of power that shook nearby systems. It did not communicate, it did not respond, yet every sensor trembled in its presence. The humans understood instantly. This was an intelligence older than the Empire itself. The first probes sent toward the shadow vanished instantly. No trace remained, no signals returned, only a void that seemed to swallow space itself. The humans felt it, deep in their minds. A warning, a challenge. The galaxy had always had threats, but this one was something else. something alive and aware. Admiral